I'm Judy. Welcome to my channel. So today's project is to make a leather coaster set with an embroidered image. A friend and client of mine sent me this image and asked that I put it on leather in order to make him some coasters. I uploaded this image to my embroidery program and digitized the image in order to embroider it. And so once I had that done and stitched it out, this is what it looked like on leather. It really came out good, and it only took 7 minutes to embroider this on one coaster. So after I did that, you have to hide all the stitches in the back. So I glued another piece of leather on the back of this, and to make sure it never came apart, I did a top stitch around the edge. So in this video, I'll show you how to make this leather coaster. Okay, the first thing I did was find something to draw a 3.5-inch circle, because that's the size he wanted for his coasters. I found out that this roll of tape was exactly 3.5 inches around, so I took my awl and I just drew circles, and then I determined the center point. So when I put this under the embroidery machine, I can center it so that it stitches in the middle of that circle. After that, I just laid this piece of leather onto my embroidery hoop. This is tearaway stabilizer. I'm going to float this piece, and so in order for it to stay in place, I'm just going to grab some temporary adhesive spray, spray the back of this leather, and then just place it on here, press it down. So now this is not going to move when I stitch it out on the embroidery machine. So the next step is just put this in the embroidery machine, and 7 minutes later we'll have it stitched out. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the center point so I can move my needle to the little mark that I made. Let's see if that's it. A little bit more. Okay, so I have the center point, and we're going to begin now embroidering this. Okay, that's all done. And so now let's take it out of the machine and start the process of cleaning up these threads that are hanging here from the start and stops. So let's go over to my desk and let's do that. Okay, so let's cut some of these threads from the project. I've cut a lot of them off already so they wouldn't get tangled up into the design. So there's only a few left here. And when we're done, we'll take this out of the hoop. Okay, I stitched out the second image, and so now I'm going to take this out of the hoop. So they're stuck here because of the stitching to the stabilizer. And guess what? This is cutaway stabilizer, not tearaway. So let's take this out of my 6x10 hoop. And so now I have a pair of scissors that I am going to cut the backing off here, the stabilizer off. It doesn't have to be real neat because we are going to be gluing more leather to the back to hide all of these stitches on the back. So let's just get it off of this large piece of stabilizer. Oh yeah, I forgot I had a spray adhesive on it. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Next, I'm going to cut with my box cutter. I'm going to separate these two pieces so I can work with getting them in circles. So let's cut them apart. I love this box cutter. It's an Olfa brand. I just get it from Home Depot. It has blades that it comes with, and you can just reload new blades. I think they're 18mm blades. I have to put it in the description box, but this is what I use to cut leather with every project, is this Olfa box cutter. It's perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to have to cut these circles out, and then I'll glue the black leather that I have to the back of it to hide all these stitches. And let's start. Let me cut some of this away so it doesn't get in the way when I cut the circle. All right, so now let's get to the business of cutting these circles out. I don't have a complete circle the size that I need, so I have this template that has a nice curve on it that I'm going to just use to work around my circle, and just improvise with what you have. Okay, so let's get rid of some of these little edges here. And so now that I have it separated and cut out, I can go back and fine-tune these little areas here. Make sure it's nice and circular. Clean it up a little bit. Let's see here. Okay, looks good for the first go round. What I'll do now is get out my other leather, which is very thin. It's like a lining leather. And so let's get that out. Okay, I have my piece of leather here. It's suede on the back side and kind of pebbly on the and smooth on this side. So since this is a coaster, we don't want it to move across the surface of whatever it's sitting on. I'm going to use this as the back side so it has a little grip to it. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to apply my glue to this side and this side of the leather. I still see some sections that I need to cut that are too close to the edge. I thought I had gotten all these. Put it back. Okay, all right, that's good. You don't even have to worry about these long threads because they'll be kind of covered up. All right, so the glue I use is a non-toxic glue that is very good for leather. I get it from Amazon. So yeah, let's apply this glue to both of these pieces of leather. Let it sit for a bit, let it get a little tacky, and then we'll put the two together. And again, I'm going to sew these two together along the edge, so that way I know that these will never become separated. I'm not going to cut this circle out until after I've put the brown piece of leather on top of it, and then I can cut a nice clean edge. And so that's why I like to wait to cut this second piece until after I put the two pieces together. All right, let's let that sit. Okay, this glue has set pretty tacky, and so now we're going to stick these two together. And that's all it is. right there. It'll dry more. And so what I'm going to do now is just cut the black part away. Okay. So it's so much easier and more precise to do it this way instead of cutting two exact circles and trying to line up the edges to glue them together. That is a little more tedious, but this is faster. So from here, all I have to do is top stitch around the circle to keep these two together, and then I'll buff the edges of this leather just a little bit, smooth it out more, and then apply the little eyelet, and this is a done deal here. So now we're ready to sew our border around these two pieces, and I'm going to use this as my guide. I got this little gadget from eBay, and it comes with a screw, and you can use different portions of this: straight edge, circular edge, and this little knob. I think I like this better because then I can just move it around and keep it at the same allowance consistently. So I like that edge, so let's try it. I'm using a stitch length of 6. This is thread size Tex 90 with a size 20 needle, and this is typically the needle size and thread size that I use for leather. My stitch length varies: top stitch 6, and when I'm sewing seams I usually use a 4. So let's go ahead and do this border. And that's it. That's all there is to it. The little eyelet. Okay, let's make our hole. I chose this spot right here, and let's go ahead. Oh, and here's my grommet set I got from Amazon. It's a 1/4 inch, and inside this little box comes the hole puncher and the setting tools. So everything you need comes in the package. Okay, that pretty much gives us a hole. And now we're going to use the setting tools to set this little eyelet in place. So we're going to put this piece inside the hole like that, and then we're going to take the washer portion of it and put it on the back side. And once we have it there, we're going to take our setting tool. It has a concave hole there, and we're going to set it right on top and hammer this in place. So now this will never come out because what I've done is I've hammered the edge around the washer, and so it's smooth. It's not going to come out. So here is the completed project. So this is one of a dozen that he ordered, and I see right now what I'm going to do on the next one is, instead of centering this to the center of this circle, this image should be shifted over maybe 1/4 inch. So when I embroider the rest, I am going to set this image to print a 1/2 inch to the right of the center of this circle. But I think this is pretty good. And let me compare it to the one that I made before. Yeah, I can see now that this image is more centered. So I'm going to do some changes here when I do the next. But this is our completed coaster, and if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I will leave all of the tools I've used for this project in the description box, and I will be making a video showing how I uploaded the image into my embroidery program and how I digitized it. That's going to be in the next few days or so, so stay tuned for that video. But otherwise, this is a quick little project. You can use any image you want if you have a digitizing program, and it makes nice gifts. So I'll see you at the next video. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.